How are you? I hope you guys are doing well and your studies are going well. And I'm Saurabh, your science faculty, and welcoming everyone in Ollie board. And in this particular session, we are going to discuss very important chapter of science, that is ecosystem. Okay, so we will learn about components of ecosystem, food chain, and food web. About food chain, how food chain works, and what is web, what is food web. Okay, and first we will learn about what are the components of ecosystem and what is ecosystem. Okay, so this chapter is very important and very easy also. Very little information is here to provide you. Okay, so note it down each and everything. Okay, and please revise these things regularly so that you can remember these things at the time of your examination. Okay, so let's start the class, and please enjoy the class. Okay, so let's start. Ecosystem, its component, food chain and food web. This is our today's topic. Okay, so let's start. First we will discuss what is the basic definition of ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? So in very simple words, ecosystem is nothing but it is an interaction between organisms and their environment. It is an interaction between organisms and their environment. This is the simplest definition of ecosystem. Okay, and also ecosystem is the structural and functional unit of ecology where the living organisms interact with each other and the surrounding environment. Okay, so ecosystem can be very small also. Okay, it can be very small also, as small as oasis in the desert, even smaller than oasis, even smaller than oasis. An ecosystem can be of the size of ball also. Okay, it can be the size of the ball also. Okay, so basically ecosystem, you can say, it is a separate word. You can say for a very small, let's say this is a very small separate word, separate world it is. Okay, and this is ecosystem. Clear? So an ecosystem can be as small as an oasis in the desert or as big as an ocean spanning thousands of miles. Okay, so ecosystem can be of any size. There are two types of ecosystem. First one is terrestrial ecosystem, and second one is aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic, obviously water, which means organisms which are living in the water, and their ecosystem we will talk about. And terrestrial means obviously land, animals which are living on the land, and what are the components of their ecosystem, basically. Clear? So these are the types of ecosystem, terrestrial and aquatic. And the term, very important, and the term ecosystem, this was first coined by A.G. Tansley. Very important. A.G. Tansley coined the word ecosystem. He is a botanist. In 1935 he coined this term ecosystem. Clear? Very important. So this was the very basic definition. And now we will talk about terrestrial ecosystem. So obviously terrestrial means land. So terrestrial ecosystem are exclusively land based ecosystem. Okay, from the word itself you can decide terrestrial means land. Okay, so now there are different type of terrestrial ecosystem distributed around various various geological zones. And forest ecosystem, okay, you can say that what I can say, very dense forest. Okay, very dense forest, very dense forest. Okay, in which various kind of plants are present. Okay, various kinds of flora and fauna is there, various kinds of animals are there. Okay, primary consumers, secondary consumers are there. So forest ecosystem is the first one. Another one is grassland ecosystem. Okay, like grass fields, very big grass fields. Okay, and like what you know now that in the North America and in the South America there are very big grass fields are there. Okay, so that kind of ecosystem are called grassland ecosystem. And third one is tundra regions are very cold regions, and very less amount of rainfall is there, very less amount of rainfall occurs, very less amount of rainfall occurs, similar to desert ecosystem, very less amount of rainfall occurs. Okay, and very cold region. Okay, like in mountains, and desert, obviously desert from the name itself, like Rajasthan, Rajasthan, desert areas of Rajasthan. That kind of ecosystem is the fourth kind of ecosystem, desert ecosystem. Very less, very less, very little amount of rainfall, very little amount of rainfall, and hot and hot and cold weather condition, hot and cold weather condition, hot in day and cold at night. Clear? So there are four kinds of terrestrial ecosystem, basically: forest, grassland, tundra, and desert ecosystem on a broader manner. Now, the second type of ecosystem is aquatic ecosystem. So obviously aquatic system are the ecosystem present in a body of water. These can be further divided into two types, namely freshwater ecosystem and marine water ecosystem, like sea and ocean. These are marine ecosystem, and freshwater ecosystem like ponds and lakes and rivers. Okay, ponds, lakes and rivers, these comes under what? Freshwater ecosystem. And the marine ecosystem, sea, ocean, and you can say saltwater lake also comes under this saltwater lake. Okay, these comes under marine ecosystem, etc. and etc. Clear? Next, now we will discuss about what is structure of the ecosystem. What is the structure of the ecosystem? So the structure of an ecosystem can be split into two main components. So first one is biotic component and second one is abiotic component. Clear? So the structure of an ecosystem is divided into two main components. Biotic are what? Plants and animals. Plants are the primary producers. They are the primary producers. We will talk about in food chain. Okay, these are primary producers. Okay, so these are the biotic components. Animals, they are consumers. These are also comes under biotic. And what are the abiotic component? Like soil, air, sunlight, and water. So these non-living things, basically abiotic component are non-living things. Non-living things comes under abiotic component, and living things comes under biotic component. Living things. Okay, so water, sunlight, air, soil, these are non-living things obviously, and the plant and animals are the living things. So very very important. Okay, so habitat, that is ecosystem, has two components, biotic and abiotic. Clear? Now here one line is written that biotic and abiotic components are interrelated in ecosystem. Obviously interrelated in ecosystem. Without sunlight, plant cannot make its food. Similarly, without air, the animals or the human beings can't breathe. Without help of soil, you can't grow any kind of plants. Okay, and water is also necessary for living beings, for plants and animals and human beings also. Okay, water is very very necessary. Okay, so everything is interrelated in an ecosystem. Like biotic and abiotic components, both are interrelated to each other. It is an open system. Where energy and components can flow throughout the boundaries. Okay, which means basically ecosystem, it is an open system. Open means that they can transfer biotic components and abiotic components. Basically they can flow the energy through, okay, through their boundaries. Clear? So ecosystem, it is an open system. Clear? Very very important. Now let's move to our next topic, that is biotic component. Okay, structure of ecosystem is basically divided into two main components, biotic and abiotic. Now we will discuss about what are biotic components. So biotic components refers to all life in an ecosystem. All life, as I said, means living things. Clear? So biotic component refer to all life in an ecosystem. Based on nutrition, biotic components can be categorized into autotrophs, heterotrophs, and saprotrophs, or decomposers. Based on what? That based on their nutrition, what is their mode of nutrition, how they are making their food, on what factors they are depending on. Okay, so that is called basically, under those based on nutrition conditions, biotic components are categorized into autotrophs, heterotrophs, and saprotrophs. Clear? Which are also called as decomposers. Now producers include all autotrophs such as plants. Clear? So plants are producers. They are called autotrophs as they can produce food through the process of photosynthesis. Consequently, all other organisms higher upon the food chain rely on the producer for food. Okay, so that's why we call plants the primary producers, because they are not using any other factor, they are not using any other things to produce their food. Basically, they are using the sunlight, or they are using the sunlight, and with the help of chlorophyll, green pigment which is present in a plant's leaves, with the help of that they prepare their food. Okay, so that's why they are called as producers basically, because they start making food for food chain, they start making food for the food chain, for the entire food chain. Clear? That's why they are called as producers, and they are called as autotrophs. Autotrophs means who can create their food by themselves, who can create their food by themselves, that are called autotrophs. So they are called autotrophs as they can produce food through the process of photosynthesis. Clear? Now who are consumers? So we call it heterotrophs. Consumers or heterotrophs means heterotrophs means animals or whatever, like human beings also, who depend on other organisms for food. Okay, so consumers or heterotrophs are organisms that depend on other organisms for the food material. Clear? And animals and human beings both can be carnivorous and herbivorous and omnivorous. Okay, so everything is possible in according to consumer point of view. Clear? Now primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers, there are three kind of consumers. So primary consumers are always herbivorous, that they rely on producer for the food. Clear? That they rely on the producer for the food. Who consumes what? Who consumes plants? Primary consumers, plants. They are herbivorous means vegetarian. Simple term, in simple terms, vegetarian animals or insects, whatever you want to say. Clear? So they are primary consumers. Now who is secondary consumers? Secondary consumers depend on primary consumers for energy. Okay, and they can either be a carnivorous or an omnivorous. Omnivorous means who is vegetarian and non-vegetarian both. Who is vegetarian and non-vegetarian both. They are called as omnivorous, and carnivorous means non-vegetarian, and herbivorous means vegetarian. Clear? So secondary consumers depend on primary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers are organisms that depend on secondary consumers for the food. Tertiary consumers can also be omnivorous. Clear? Tertiary consumers can also be omnivorous. And there are the last one, that is the fourth consumer. Okay, they are called predators. Okay, they are called predators, the final consumer. Clear? Now we will see the biotic factors. Here you can see producers, consumers, and decomposers. Okay, so producers are what? Plants. Here you can see plants, grass, and flowering plants, non-flowering plants, everything, every flora and fauna. Fauna are the animals. Every flora comes under producers, and the fauna comes under consumers. Comes under consumers. Understood? Now who are consumers? Here you can see mosquito, tiger, cow, and some bird is here. This is animal, and the fox is here. So these are animals and human. They are consumers. And who are decomposers? Like worms, bacteria, fungus, or fungi. These are decomposers. Basically. Okay, so these comes under biotic factors. Biotic factors means they all have life. Understood? Very, very important. They all have life. Now decomposers, very, very important, very big role they play in the food web. Decomposers include saprophytes such as fungi, bacteria. They directly thrive on the dead and decaying organic matter. Okay, dead and decaying matter, And decomposers are essential for the ecosystem as they help in recycling nutrients to be reused by plants basically. Okay, so they thrive on the dead and decaying organic matters. They take energy from those decaying organic matters and releases few substance in the environment and soil. That substance basically these uh, plants or producers uses to flourish, okay, uses to grow. Grass uses these kind of organic matters to grow, and plants also get some minerals, and that's why they grow. Okay, so basically decomposers are very important, and they are the last part of the food chain. They are the last part of the food. So abiotic components are the non-living components of an ecosystem. Okay, so everything which are non-living things, that comes under in abiotic components. It includes air, water, soil, minerals, sunlight, temperature, nutrients, winds, altitude, and turbidity, etc. Okay, everything which is a non-living things comes under abiotic components, like here wind, sunlight, soil, water, atmosphere, and temperature. Okay, so just remember these things: biotic and abiotic factor. Very important. Very important. Let's move to some important ecological concepts like food chain and food web. Okay, so this is very easy, very important part also. Just read these paragraphs, these three small paragraphs, and then we will discuss about the food chain in our next slide. So the sun is the ultimate source of energy. We all know that sun is the ultimate source of energy on the earth. Okay, without this sunlight we can't do anything. Even life is not possible on the earth. Okay, so sun is the ultimate source of energy on the earth. It provides what? It provides sunlight, or it provides energy to the plants to prepare their food. So it provides the energy required for all the plant life. The plant utilize this energy by the process of photosynthesis to synthesize their food basically. Okay, plant with the help of sunlight, they prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Very basic things. Now during this biological process, light energy is converted into chemical energy, obviously. Okay, plant is preparing food, and the plant is using what? Plant is using sunlight. Sunlight will give what kind of energy that sunlight provide? It will provide light energy, and now plant converts this light energy into chemical energy. Okay, and is passed through successive levels. The flow of energy from a producer to a consumer, and eventually to an apex predator or a detritivore, is called the food chain. Clear? So from here, from the plant, where plant starts preparing food, from that point food chain starts, and now the flow of energy begins. From plants to primary consumers. Okay, then primary consumers to secondary consumers, then secondary consumers to tertiary, from primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary, from tertiary to apex predators, and then decomposers and producers at the beginning. Okay, so it makes your complete food chain. Now dead and decaying matter along with organic debris is broken down into its constituents by scavengers. What are scavengers? Worms, earthworms, and fungus and bacteria. These are scavengers. Okay, so dead and decaying matter along with organic debris is broken down into its constituents by scavengers. The reducers, which are scavengers, obviously, the reducers then absorb these constituents. After gaining the energy, the reducers liberate molecules to the environment, which can be utilized again by the producers. And who are the producers? Plants are the producers. Okay, so basically reducers or decomposers or scavengers, basically they help to decay that organic matter, and they gains energy from that dead decaying organic material. And after gaining the energy from that thing, basically the reducers liberate various kind of molecules to the environment, and that molecules helps the producers to flourish. Basically, it helps grass to grow, it helps plants to grow. Okay, so that's why they are, by that only the producers can able to prepare food in the latter part also in their life, like in future also they will able to produce food materials. Understood? So basically this is about the food chain. Okay, and from these three small paragraphs I have explained you each and everything. Now we will discuss these things with the help of this diagram. Here you can see producer, grass and plants. This is sun, sunlight is coming on the earth surface. Now grass and plants, with the help of this sunlight, they prepare food by the process of photosynthesis. Similarly, water they are receiving from rainfall. So sunlight, water and air, these are abiotic factors. These are abiotic factors which are helping these producers to prepare food materials. Okay, abiotic factors are helping producers to prepare food materials. That's why they are interrelated also. Abiotic and biotic factor, they are interrelated. Now grasshopper is a primary consumer. What this grasshopper will do? The grasshopper eat the plants. First point, primary consumer. Now this is a secondary consumer, frog. Here you can see a frog is there. This frog, basically you can say frog or a mice, it is written here. Okay, frog. Yeah, mice can also be there. I'm just writing frog here. Okay, so the frog eats the grasshopper. So frog is a secondary consumer. Now snake comes under tertiary consumers. You have to remember, very very important. These are examples also. Secondary consumers example is frog. Tertiary consumer example is snake. And primary consumer example is grasshopper, which is a herbivorous, and they are what? They are omnivorous. Clear? They are omnivorous also. And snakes, they means tertiary consumers. They also can be omnivorous. Okay, and but here you can see snake is also an omnivorous. Okay, so these they are tertiary consumers. The snake eat the frog. Now hawk or eagle, they are finally consumers. They are final consumers or predators. Clear? Like eagle or this is a hawk. Okay, so what this hawk will do? When the hawk die, the eagle eats the snake, the hawk eats the snake, and at the last, when the hawk die, fungi breaks the body down and turns into nutrients. Okay, so there is no any kind of further consumer here. When this eagle die or when this hawk die, what will happen? Basically these decomposers like fungi and bacteria, they will help to break down this the organic substance present in this hawk. Okay, so they will break down that organic substance, and after gaining energy from those organic materials, they will release some nutrients in the environment. Okay, they will release nutrients in the environment, and again those nutrients will be used by plants in future. Okay, and so this cycle will complete in this way. Okay, from producers to primary consumers, then secondary, then tertiary, and then predators, and then decomposers, and again producers will get energy to produce foods again and again. Okay, so this is a one food chain. This is a single food chain. I'm telling you, this is a single food chain. Okay, only one animal or one insect is present here. Okay, at every step, like primary consumer grasshopper, I have given you the example. Secondary consumer frog, tertiary snake, and for final consumer or predator is hawk, okay, or eagle. So there are only single animals are present. So this is a food chain. This is a single food chain. Here. Clear? Now Food web is what? Food web is nothing but it is a network of interconnected food chains. Very, very important. Food chain and food web. Just remember with this that food web means there are various food chains are going on. Various food chains are going on. Clear? So in food web you can say that there are thousands of food chains are going on simultaneously. Clear? So food web is a network of interconnected food chains. It comprises all the food chains within a single ecosystem. Clear? Within a single ecosystem it comprises all the food chains. It helps in understanding that plants lay the foundation of all the food chains. In a marine environment, phytoplanktons forms the primary producers. Very, very important. This line is very, very important. Very, very important. In a marine environment means in a hard water environment or in hard water environment, phytoplanktons forms the primary producers, and on the terrestrial environment, plants or grass are the primary producers. Okay, and when various food chains are there within a single ecosystem, we call it food web. We call it food web. Now try to understand from here also. Food chain, just one path of energy, just one path of energy, just a one path. Here you can see primary producer. Okay, first tropical level, primary producers, plant or flowering plants. Now primary consumer. Primary consumer is what? Grasshopper, grasshopper, grasshopper. Clear? So this is herbivorous. Now this is a mice. Okay, this is a mice. So mice is a carnivorous, or you can say omnivorous. Okay, so he is a secondary consumer. He is a secondary consumer, and now again snake is a tertiary consumer, and last one is predator. Last one is predator, that is eagle. So this is just a one path of energy. Energy is transferring from plant to grasshopper to mice to snake and to eagle. Okay, so this is a food chain. Just one path of energy is called as food chain. Now what is food web? All possible energy paths. All possible energy paths. See, here you can see this is a grass which is a producer. This is a grass which is a producer. Okay, and this is a grasshopper. So grasshopper also eats grass, and rabbit, here rabbit is there, rabbit also eats grass, and deer also eats grass. Okay, so see, in the single ecosystem various food chains are going to start. Okay, various paths of energy are going to start here. Grasshopper eats food. Now mice eats grasshopper. Then mice can be eaten by eagle also, can be eaten by owl also, and can be eaten by fox also, can be eaten by fox also. Similarly, grasshoppers can be eaten by various kind of birds also, various kinds of birds also. Grasshoppers can various kinds of birds are also carnivorous, and they eat grasshoppers. Clear? Similarly here you can see this is a eagle. Okay, this is a eagle, or you can say owl also, they are also omnivorous, Clear? Deer is also it's a herbivorous, but who will eat deer? Like lion or tiger, so they will eat what? They will eat deer. Okay, so they are what? They are again secondary consumers. They are secondary consumers. Primary consumers is deer. Primary consumer is deer, and producer is grass. So see, in the single ecosystem, various possible energy paths are there. Okay, various possible energy paths are there, and cumulatively all of them comprises the food web. All of them comprises the food web. That's why we call it all possible energy paths are called food web. Clear? So food chain and food web are not a different concept. Food chain is just one path of energy, and the food web is all possible energy paths. Understood? So I hope it is clear to everybody. And at this point your class ends today. Okay, so we have discussed about food web, what is food chain, and food chain, basically we have already discussed a few points about the food chain, and what are abiotic components, biotic factors, and biotic components, and structure of the ecosystem obviously, and types of ecosystem. Okay, we have discussed. And AG Tansley, very very important. Ecosystem terms were first coined by AG Tansley. Okay, so this is very very important chapter and very easy chapter also. Okay, there is nothing much to understand. Okay,